right now we're going to talk about then, now, and next. Is Sandra in here? So Sandra came to me this morning and she said, somebody put a bucket on the stage. I don't know what that's about. So I took it off. And I said, no, put the bucket back. And then somebody came in here this afternoon and they were like, why is there a bucket on the stage? Just trust me. So there is a bucket on the stage. And let me turn around because it's this branding for Lowe's. It is a Lowe's bucket. So if we're going to talk about then, now, and next, what in the world does a bucket have to do with it? Any ideas? Any thoughts?
Bucket list?
A what? A bucket list. A bucket list. How many of y'all have a bucket list? So what is a bucket list?
Things you want to do, accomplish.
Things you want to do in the future? Okay. So, when I'm trying to find out something, I go to my favorite source of information, Google. So I put in, what's a bucket list? And it says a number of experiences or achievements that a person hopes to accomplish during their lifetime. And I went someplace else and it said, make a list of 100 things you want to do before you die. A bucket list is a list of things we want to do, have, or be before we die. So by show of hands, how many of you all have a bucket list? Okay, about half of you. So I'm kind of nosy. So I want to know, for those of you who have a bucket list, what's on it? And you don't have to say it out loud. What I want you to do right now, you've got some paper in front of you. And on the blank sheet of paper, I want you to write down some of the things that are on your personal bucket list. And if you don't have a bucket list, guess what? There's no time like the present to think about it. What are some things that you want to do? Who is the person you want to be? What are some things you want to achieve before you die? So take a couple of minutes and make a list for your bucket list. Okay, what I want you to do now is I want you to stand up and I want you to get a partner. It cannot be anyone at your current table, but I want you to try to find someone who's the same height as you. Get a partner. Take your sheet with you, yeah. Take your sheet with you, get a partner. Different, somebody says shoes on or off, it's up to you. Get a partner, someone that's about the same height as you. And once you get your partner, hold her hand, and then put your hands in the air so I'll know if anybody needs a partner. Does anybody need a partner? Who needs a partner? Lily and Andrea needs a partner over here. So, I want you to take 10 minutes and talk with your partner about what's on your bucket list and why those things are on your list and why they're important to you, okay? So you can find a seat. You don't have to stand up if you don't want to, but talk to your partner. Okay, finish up your conversation. Thank your partner. Give her a hug. And you can go back to your original seat. Okay. I need 4 people to come up here because I want to hear what's on your bucket list. Because I'm looking for some things to put on mine. Come on, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, why is it like when little kids, like when they're in kindergarten, you ask for volunteers, they're like, ooh, 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 ooh. And then after you turn 18, nobody wants to volunteer. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Come on up. So tell us your name and tell me what's on your bucket list.
Hi, I'm Valerie Moore. Can everyone hear me?
Look at branding. Help me. Do it for me. Do it for me.
Okay, my name is Valerie Moore, and I have on my bucket list that I'd like to travel to Europe. You still can't hear me. See, I was really not trying to do this. On my bucket list, I have travel to Europe, open my business, open a restaurant, build a new home, all on one level this time, make some wine, lead others to Christ, spend time with my parents and family, learn how to play an instrument, take a ceramic class, sing on stage, although I can't sing at all. Visit every state.
Sing right now.
No, that ain't gonna happen. Paint a personal portrait, write a book, learn to swim, and visit Mount Rushmore.
All right, before you go. So, I was listening to her, and how many of y'all heard something that's on your bucket list? Yes. Okay. All right, so keep listening. Thank you.
I was telling my partner I kind of cheated, and this is a pro tip for everyone. You can have a
How we
Pinterest board of your bucket list. So I pulled up my Pinterest app and looked at some of my bucket list items, which I haven't looked at in a couple of years. So that was fun. So the first thing I wanted to do was raise $1 million because I'm a fundraiser. So if anyone wants to donate towards my goal, let me know. I want to be on the Kiss Cam at a baseball or football game. My husband doesn't like that one so much. Send a message in a bottle and have the person contact me that finds it. Own a pair of Christian Louboutin shoes.
I heard they hurt.
It might be worth it. For my 40th birthday, I'm buying those shoes.
Those are the red bottoms?
Yeah.
So look, I decided I'm not spending that much money on a pair of shoes. I'm just going to take some of my shoes and spray paint them. Next year, sister to sister, I'm going to do like this.
Have a top secret job. Make a perfect Thanksgiving turkey, which Kelly, my partner, told me how to do, so thank you. Be a good parent, be part of a flash mob, and open a cupcakery.
Did you say your name?
Oh, I'm Ashley Cooper.
You're so fun. My name is Erica Harney, and for my bucket list, I wanted to meet Martha Stewart. I wanted to publish my research, write a book, start the Savvy Academy, which is a online education portal that I'm creating that teaches young professionals about soft skills. Be a Fulbright scholar, be on Jeopardy, give a TED Talk, send my stepdaughter to college or trade school, visit all 50 states. I only have 10 left. Finish my PhD. And then actually one that's on my bucket list that I get to do next year, I got asked to speak at a conference, so I get to go to Dublin for St. Paddy's Day.
My name is Montine Gates. I have never ever thought about a bucket list.
That's why you're here.
So when you said to stop, I only had 5. My first one is to visit New York City during Fashion Week. I want to visit Las Vegas. I want to be married. I want to go to an Essence Festival. And I want to get a patent on one of my mini sewing ideas.
So, wait a minute. So, as you were talking, that like sense some emotion going on?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that, girl. I'm psychic. I got the gift and I got to use it.
Because in my first session, it was about fear and faith. I know I have the faith to do something, a lot of these things, but fear seems to get in my way.
So who else is afraid? Really? What'd you say, Mama Ola? She says the devil trying to get in and destroy your faith. Okay. So how many of you all have something on your bucket list that's been on the bucket list for more than a year? More than 2 years. More than 5 years. More than 10 years. More than 15 years. Okay? So, I love the analogy of the bucket list because it's all the things we want to do before we die. But because nobody is planning to die anytime soon, we just keep putting it off. And putting it off and putting it off. And does anybody do vision boards? Y'all, every January 30th, that's my birthday, I take the day off and I'm cutting out pictures and empowering words and I'm making my vision board. It's like a ritual. Every year I'm going to make my vision board. And I'm just so proud. And then I read this article in Essence and it said, vision boards are a waste of time. I was like, oh, how dare you say such a thing? But then I kept reading and it said, a vision board is a waste of time if you don't take any action to work towards the thing on your vision board. Okay? So you have a sheet in front of you that says assessment, action, and accountability. Okay? So I want you to get that sheet. I'm switching mics for the branding. Okay, I want you to look at your bucket list and I want you to circle the thing that's been on there the longest. Don't be ashamed. Like the thing you keep saying, I want to do. That trip you keep saying, I want to take. That goal you keep saying, I want to achieve. I want you to circle that one. And once you've identified it, I want you to take some time. And this is personal because, true confession, I told the people yesterday, like I was supposed to do these workshops and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I'm just kind of fluid and organic. So I was thinking about this. I want you to look at that thing that's been on your bucket list for the longest. And where it says assessment, I want you to assess where you are in that process. Like, for me, one of the things that's been on my bucket list for at least 15 years, because that's when I moved into my new house, I said I want to have a baby grand piano in my, I even call it the music room. And in the music room, there's a picture of a woman at a piano. And I'm just like, that's going to be so cool for me to have my baby grand piano in the music room. And both my daughters play instruments, so there was a viola in the music room. And then my daughter started playing guitar, and there was a guitar in the music room. But there was no piano in the music room. So I have to do an assessment, like, what's going on with your girlfriend that you don't have the baby grand piano? Now for me it's a baby grand piano, but what is your baby grand piano? What's the thing that's been on your list, on your bucket list for a long time? And I want you to do an assessment. Why have I not done this? What's holding you back? So I want you to look at your bucket list, and I want you to circle the item that's been on your bucket list like over and over and over again. And I want you to do a personal assessment. because this session is supposed to be about self-mastery. It's not supposed to be about Karen Townsend being the master of your life. It's about you mastering your life. So why, Karen Townsend, have you been talking about that baby grand piano, but you haven't purchased it? Because I got a job. My man got a job. We've been taking some trips and stuff, so clearly we got some disposable income. What's that about, Karen Townsend? What's that about? Anybody want to tell us what your baby grand piano is? Come on, baby.
Okay.
We can't hear you.
You want me to stand up?
I want you to stand up. Come over here. Tell us your name and tell us what your baby grand piano is.
Hi, good afternoon. My name's Dana Fernandez. And my baby grand piano is opening a bridal salon. So, my fear is funding, a lack of medical benefits leaving corporate America, and generating guaranteed income. So I'm going to do it before I leave this earth.
Somebody else, what's your baby grand piano? Yes. You have to come up here. That's my sissy. I just love her. Like, let me share something about our relationship. Like, come up here, girl, just right here. Like, sometimes I have to monitor my conversations with other people about their relationships with their siblings, because I talk to my sister every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And when some of the people, I don't like my sister. But, I mean, when people say, oh, I don't talk to my sister, for real? Because I love my sister. What's your baby grand piano?
Painting the walls in my house.
Why haven't you painted your walls?
I haven't made it a priority.
Okay. Are you scared?
Mm-hmm.
What are you scared of?
I'll pick an ugly color.
All right, so let me give you some sisterly advice. So we moved into our house and we didn't paint our walls for years because I thought I would pick an ugly color. And then somebody said, if you don't like it, you can paint over it. Like, duh! But thank you, give her a hand. But how many things in our life do we make much more complicated than it really needs to be? You don't like the color, you can paint the walls again. But we get stuck and then we don't move at all. One more baby grand piano. Hello everyone. I am Diane Young. My baby grand is parachuting. So, why? Because it's really far from the ground. No, I think the main reason is just taking initiative to do it. I always try to pick something that's completely out of my comfort zone every year, and that just continues to stay on my bucket list. So my goal, since somebody told me I could do it in Middletown, is to try to make sure that happens within the next 9 months or so. Weather dependent, of course. So, watch the news. So, did you all notice any common themes between each of the reasons behind not doing what was on my bucket list? What? Say it again. Fear. Say it again. Fear. Say it louder. Fear. Okay, so we have to take back the power from fear, because fear holds us captive. It holds us hostage. It makes us not want to paint our walls. It makes us not wanting to buy a baby grand piano, even though you say you want to buy the baby grand piano, but maybe you think once you buy the baby grand piano, somebody's going to expect you to play it. He's going to be embarrassed. But like my fantasy is I'm in the music room and I'm playing How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore by Prince. But y'all know like Prince was a master musician and I'm not. So maybe that's why I bought the baby grand piano. But I did take a tiny step, and I think my mother-in-law will remember this from a few months ago because she has a baby grand piano, and I said, I think I'm going to start taking piano lessons. And if I start taking lessons, can I come to your house and play? And she said yes. Okay, so the first line is assessment. You've done the assessment. So what action do you need to take to get closer to your baby grand piano? I said I'm going to start taking lessons. What are you going to do to get one step closer to your baby grand piano? All right, it's afternoon and people get lethargic. Get up again. Take your piece of paper. And I want you to go to someone in the room. Who's really, really cute. So that ought to be anybody at another table. And when you see her, when you hold her hand, say, I really think you're cute. Okay? So get a partner, tell her, I really think you're cute. Go to a different table. A positive affirmation. One asks you to tell your partner she's cute. How many times do people really sincerely make us feel affirmed and beautiful? Not often enough. So we're going to work on that again a little later. All right, so you talk with your partner about the action you needed to take. So what's the action? Somebody tell me their action that they're going to take.
Stop being afraid.
Stop being afraid. How easy is that? What else? Yes, Cherry. Do something every day. Somebody else. What are you going to do?
I'm going to go home and look up and see what kind of classes I can get in my community.
Okay. She's going to go home and see what kind of classes. She's going to work on the vision on her business plan. So we have to take some action towards our baby grand piano. All right, and I'm using that symbolically because that's my thing. But I think at the root of what's holding most of us back is fear. And we talked about that fear. So I want to ask you to do something to kind of visually and metaphorically help you to release some fear. Will you all do that? Yeah. All right, on your tables, there's some cups and some water. Y'all been drinking the water? That's right. Somebody said, I was thirsty. Girl, I need some water to drink. We are here to serve you. So, here's what I want you to do. Get a cup. And these are really cool because they have affirmations on them, don't they? That's a God thing. I just went to buy some plastic cups and I saw these. I was like, ooh, that's going to be so good for my workshop. So, what I want you to do is pour some water in your cup. And for me, water is very symbolic. Water is necessary for us to live. You know, you can go without food for a while, but you can't go without water. Okay? We need water to cook with. We need water to bathe with. You know, you can go without food for a few days. You don't need to go without water on that. You know? So water is very important to our existence. So I want you to pour some water in your cup. And then I'm going to ask you to come up here and I want you to empty it out. Remember we started talking about this, the bucket, how we got the bucket and the bucket list that we're not working on? And I think sometimes we can't work on the bucket list because we're full of fear. So whatever you just poured in that cup is your fear. And you don't have to say out loud to me what your fear is, but you know what your fear is. And I want you to get up. I'm going to play some walking music like they say in church. I want you to get up and I want you to pour your fear in these containers. There's 2. And when you pour it in there, let it go. Pour it in here. So I'm going to pour mine. Somebody give me a cup, please. Because I'm going to BHA on Monday to put my baby grand piano on layaway. Do they still have that one? So take a moment. I want you to be very quiet. I want you to be very quiet and be very introspective and think, what is it that I'm really, really afraid of? What is it that's really, really holding me back? Because we can't get from then to now to next unless we call it what it is and then let it go. All right? So take a minute or 2 to think what it is. Get it in your mind. Whatever is in that cup, you put it in the cup. And whenever you're ready, I just want you to walk up here and pour it in the container. All right? So I'm going to play some music. You all think, and whenever you feel led to come up, come on up. Anyone like to speak? Anyone like to share what they put in the bucket? Marsha, come on up.
I think one of the things that I feared was thinking that I had the ability. My bucket list was to open up a nonprofit for children with who have experienced trauma and to have a art therapy for healing. So it's a desire to heal the children that have been through trauma. And what I thought is I didn't have the abilities and that I would fail. And so I put that in there. And I've got some action steps to take.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Your story could heal somebody. This is my college student. Let me tell you about Vashti. Come on. She's a student at Central State, and I spoke there back in the spring, and I said, if you do this, I will gift you with a ticket to Sister to Sister. I don't even remember what I asked her to do, but she did it within 24 hours. So she was about action. So let's acknowledge her.
Good afternoon. My name is Vashti. What I put in the bucket wasn't the fear of what was on top of my list, but I did put the fear of not being good enough and not being deserving of what I want into that bucket, because that's one of the fears that hold me down with a lot of different things, and I'm sure all of us can agree with that. So I put that fear in that bucket.
All right. I think so many of us struggle with that. Not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, not feeling that
you know, I don't deserve this. But who are you not to have? Whatever it is, whatever you can dream. If God didn't want you to have it, He wouldn't have given it to you as a dream. And sometimes we just have to affirm others and affirm ourselves. But as women, it's easier for us to speak life into somebody else than to speak it to ourselves. And then sometimes when people try to speak life to you, you don't get it. Like I was talking to a friend of mine and I said, you know what? I would really like to go to Dubai. And she was like, oh, that's awesome. What are you doing now that you're in Dubai? I was like, what? I said, I want to go to Dubai. She was like, yeah, I heard you. So what are you doing now that you're there? Is Sylvester with you? Are the girls with you? Is anybody else with you? I was like, oh. She said, so go with it. I was like, yeah. I said, Sylvester's with me, and I couldn't go that far without the girls, so yeah, Kayla and Sarana are with me. And I said, I want to take other women with me because that's part of my mission. And she was like, girl, I see you doing it. I was like, okay. And that night, I went on Facebook and I said, Dubai, here I come. And it was just an affirmation for me. 27 people inboxed me and said, when you get the information, let me know because I want to go with you. Wow. But sometimes we have to just put it out there. Because when you put it out there, somebody else is probably willing to support your dream. Who in here needs a job? Who in here works in HR or knows somebody that is in a hiring position? Okay, hands went up for both. Who needs to get their finances right? Who works in the financial industry that could help them get their finances right? Hands went up on both ends. But we sit in silence, we suffer in silence, and we stay stuck. We got a bucket and it's upside down because we're not taking any action. We're not asking for help. And we can only get better when we start to reach out. And that's what the sisterhood is all about. Does that make sense to you all?
Yeah.
Okay, so I told you all that I really want to serve women differently. So most of us need a breakthrough. I think so many of us need a breakthrough. So you need a breakthrough if you're working 80 hours a week and sleeping 20. Somebody put their head down. I saw you over there. You need a breakthrough if you've been having the same argument with your significant other. Now you know y'all need to go to counseling, but one of y'all don't want to move. You need a breakthrough if you've been dealing with the same heart issue, and I don't mean cardiac, and you're still in pain and it hasn't been addressed. But sometimes it's hard to get to that breakthrough because you don't know what to say or when to say or how to say it. You don't want to be honest because people might judge you. But I want to invite you all. I'm doing a retreat November 2nd through the 5th for a small group of women. My goal is 13. 13 is my lucky number. But I want to take a small group of women away so that you can rediscover who you are. It's called Breakthrough to You, but you can't break through to yourself if you don't spend some time with yourself. So we're going to go away, not too far away, but we're going to talk about our gifts and talents. Robin started that conversation today, but that's just a day. What do we do after today? I want you to think about what your goals and values are. How many of y'all have a list of values? For real, written down, or it's just in your head? Because you need values, because that should be the basis of every decision that you make ever in life. All right? So I want to take people on Breakthrough who want to learn how to balance their lives. Whose life is out of balance? You either work and don't spend time with your family, or spend time with your family and don't work. We need to have more balance in our lives. We need a time away so that we can work on that vision board that I talked about. And not just make a vision board, but have some action steps to go along with it. And to connect with like-minded women like yourself. How many of y'all had a great day today? It's one day. today, but we need more time. So if you are ready, if you think you want a breakthrough, if you want to be a part of my lucky 13, because that's my lucky number, I'm going to get some dessert. And I want you to talk to me while we're eating dessert, and I'll tell you more about the Breakthrough to You retreat. Y'all can stay as long as you want having dessert, but I'm going to ask just 2 people for the good of order if you can just share one thing that you're going to take away from today's experience. Anyone? Okay, here comes somebody. And then you can come after. Tell us your name.
My name is Kelly Redmond, and what I have taken from today is that my fear manifests itself as excuses and stubbornness. And that is what I poured into that bucket. Thank
you. Tell us your name.
My name is Anita Moore, and as I've said to a number of people that I've had the opportunity to speak with since being here this weekend, I'm embarrassed to say that this is the first sister-to-sister conference that I have attended, and I've known Karen for a number of years. I don't think I've always known that you were doing this, though, probably in the last 7 or 8 years or so. I'm embarrassed it's taking me this long to get here. Mainly, I think, because either I was traveling or I wasn't willing to give up my Saturday. Imagine that. But my takeaway from this weekend, one of many, is that there is incredible power when women come together and share their powerful stories and their gifts and talents. And so I'm so thankful that I came to be with each and every one of you. So really special weekend.
So ladies, we started yesterday with the VIP session, what do you want now? And we talked about what we have to do in order to get what we want. And today you've been just poured into from 5 awesome women on various topics, and we're ending to now with that was then, this is now, what's next. And only you can define for you what your next is, but it is my hope that after today you will believe that you are worthy, that you deserve it, that you can exercise faith over fear to get whatever you want, and that you don't have to do any of it by yourself. We talked about assessment, action, and accountability. We are here to be your accountability partners. We want to do that for you, so please engage with us in person, via social media, on our Facebook page. Friend me on Facebook, because I just write stuff all the time and y'all won't know what I'm doing. But I'm just so grateful that you took time out of your day today to spend it with me and my team. Maybe you all thought we were serving you, but really you have served us. And for that, I'm grateful. The final thing I want to say is please consider joining me for the final phase of our celebration at Tabernacle Baptist Church tomorrow at 10:45. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but any of you all are planning. I just need to know if the ushers need to do like this and hold a spot. Who's coming to church with me tomorrow? I see a few folks. All right. Thank you so much, sisters. I love you all, and just continue to know, while we're on a mission to empower 1 million women and girls, you are 1 in a million.